I'll let everybody else do the talking. I actually have to go, but I've recorded it and taken notes, and I will send you my notes. I'm going to leave the recording on, though, as I step away so that I can kind of hear some of the other comments and
Okay.
mine accordingly. My one, I would say that you're talking too fast still. That you seem to have a tendency to talk very fast, which is rough because it was like barely on time as is. So I think it still needs to be shortened and streamlined. And when you deliver this, and we'll have one more chance to practice tomorrow. My one comment is when you deliver this, you can't in your head tell yourself to talk too slow. It's impossible. If you tell yourself to talk too slow, you'll only be 5% too fast. Anyway, I'll let Bob talk.
So, okay, before I want to mention also, some of the slides are not that smooth because I made them this morning. So it's like, I haven't practiced it even myself, but yeah.
Okay, so I would agree that you actually talk too fast. So I'd say slow down by 20% or something would be good. So your slides are very busy. So actually we could do this in general, then maybe go back slide by slide. So the questions, I was thinking of the questions you're likely to get. Like you never, one of the big questions is going to be, well, can you get the energy of the neutrons?
Yeah.
So I think you have to be ready to answer that and say that, well, the energy of the neutron, we would not get that. Of course, we don't know. The only thing we can get for sure is, we'll have some resolution on the capture vertex.
Yeah.
And, but we don't have any studies on that so far. But I think the official point of view is that in the phase 2, we'll have very poor resolution on the neutron capture vertex. And so when people say, why are you putting in WBLS? The right answer is that, well, we are doing studies and we hope that that will improve our neutron capture vertex to give us at least some neutron range information. It's actually too bad we don't have a slide of neutron energy versus rank, distance from the origin to the capture point in water, because I think that would be very useful.
Yes, yeah.
As a function of energy. So you have a scatter plot of a neutron, let's say of 100 MeV from the point of origin to the capture point. How far is that? And I think there'll be a correlation.
Yes.
But okay, so you're likely to get a question about that because it wasn't clear for me from your talk. Why do you need WBLS? So the other thing is, what is the schedule for getting all 5 LAPPDs? And people might ask you questions on the details. So hopefully you have backup slides. Like, are they stable? What's the quantum efficiency?
Okay, I don't have a backup slide on this, but I think Matt said he would send some pictures my way to
okay. Backup. And then one of the big questions is somebody might ask, okay, hey, isn't the charge current cross section on oxygen already measured?
Yes, yeah, I got this one before, yeah.
Yeah, and so then you have to answer that one, right?
Yeah. So
and
in this case, just because we're basically going to have better muon kinematics.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, so the inclusive is okay, but people have done inclusive, right? K to K, for instance.
Yeah.
And T to K near detector will have done inclusive, but we'll have we have sort of better muon kinematics than they will have. So it's not really the inclusive. We're going to get the inclusive, but that's not the real goal, right? It's exclusive cross sections.
Okay.
And actually, you never mentioned that it would be interesting. We hope that the WBLS might allow us to tell on a statistical basis a neutrino from an antineutrino.
With WBLS? Oh,
because remember we saw that in the presentation at the anti meeting, was that in the antineutrons there was always a longer range single neutron, because in general the neutrons from the initial interaction may have several hundred MeV of energy, but the boil-off neutrons have a couple MeV.
Yes.
And so we saw that for protons in microbrune, right, in the microbrune talk. So I think that didn't really come out in their talk. So
okay, yeah, I just had a very quick line on this, but it wasn't even about WBLS. It was just a regular statement for any at the
so you
motivation.
might want to have a slide to answer those questions.
Okay.
That was in general. So anybody else have any general comments?
I had a couple of minor comments. So I feel like if we're going to say that the slides were a little bit too busy and the talking was a little bit fast, we should probably recommend some slides for removal.
I don't think you can drive.
I can't drive. Oh, I'm trying to drive here and I couldn't drive.
Yeah, why don't you go through your slides and we can
Yeah.
Okay.
tell you which ones maybe you could take out.
So this one, the first one.
This one's okay.
Okay, I think this one, Matt told me to remove momentum transfer and just speak about lepton kinematics.
Yeah, and it's not clear why you have a picture of the detector here.
No, it was just to show the detector. I mean, that's true. That's true. They don't have to.
Because in some of the slides, you had lots of pictures and it wasn't clear how they're related to the actual topic.
Okay. I can make a note and try to remove it.
Because then the slide is less busy.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, some of them I don't go through them.
So I did have a comment on the previous slide.
Oh, yep.
The outline slide. The one right after.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. So usually I'm a big fan of this, but during your talk, I had the impression that this was kind of a stop. So you would always stop and come back, and then your talk would continue. So I was wondering, maybe you should just have an outline, and then make the transition verbally, saying, okay, let's talk about what is Annie, and then let's talk about Annie phase 1. And then that would remove a few slides that potentially there might be a slightly better flow that way.
Okay. So just have the outline for the first slide, and then don't have it later on.
Yeah, I mean, do a test with both and see how you feel more comfortable, but that would be my recommendation.
Okay. Okay, I see. I will try, because I think sometimes the outline also helps to, like, I should be ready to, but to help doing the transition. But okay, yeah, I will try to do both.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, the picture you have here doesn't seem to be related to what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this it's a picture I had before for the original slides, but then the slide had to be.
So I guess it would make more sense if you say this is the energy range Annie's going to be looking in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you could say that verbally, but
okay.
you didn't refer to the picture at all.
That's right. No, I didn't. The last time I did the practice, I did refer to it. I think I can refer to it here at the energy range of interest. But I guess otherwise I could just refer to it because this is more of the long baseline oscillation physics kind of plots.
Okay.
Do an hypercanova. I can maybe refer to it here in this part.
So you have neutron tagging, and you could see the first bullet, neutron tagging is a critical signal background separation tool. You don't really need to write that down, right?
Yes.
So, because it's hard to read, there's a lot of text there. And when you say both are the focus of super K gadolinium, yeah, okay, but I think you just need to say proton decay searches and diffuse supernova background detection will allow a good understanding of neutron yield and atmospheric neutrino interactions. you could just say, for example, super K. I think they just call it SKGD, right?
Yes.
Okay, just make it simpler, in other words. And actually, it's energy-dependent neutron yield. You may get somebody saying, "Well, wasn't that already done by super K?"
Well, yeah, I had in my previous slides, but I removed it. It was in the why do we need a PPD plot, but I can add it. I can add it in one of the backup, I guess.
Yeah, just back up. So that's okay. I would just try to. So the main thing on this is try to simplify the text in the box.
Okay.
So one of the questions you might get is, what is the schedule as far as neutrino beam versus anti-neutrino beam? This is one of the slides where you kind of mentioned it, but there was no real mention of that's a question you might get. So you might want to put a slide somewhere saying what the approximate plan is, if there is a plan, for neutrinos versus anti-neutrinos.
Okay, I don't know if we have a plan.
I don't think there is a plan yet, unfortunately.
No plan?
I think maybe the plan.
Well,
do we have an answer then if somebody asks that question?
I would say that we would like to get anti-neutrinos during ANI at some point. I think nobody could disagree with that.
And that's likely to happen in the next 2 years, right?
Well, we don't know. It depends because there's so many other experiments sharing the beam. So I think it's sort of sensitive to say because some of them, like Icarus, will want all neutrinos and no anti-neutrinos at all. And if you're looking for sterile neutrinos, you don't want anti-neutrinos. But if you're trying to measure neutrino cross-sections, you want anti-neutrinos.
Right.
In addition to neutrinos. So that negotiation hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so I can say that, yeah, it's not, we don't know what's the plan yet, but we're going to push to have some anti-neutrino data, or?
Yeah, I'd say at some point we would like to get anti-neutrinos.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to say it's in 2 years or 5 years, but you say, well, to really realize the whole experimental program, we need anti-neutrinos at some point. I mean, we would love to get them next year, really, but we don't know that's true. In fact, that will be quite, people will get quite excited if you say that.
Yeah.
You might not want to say that.
No, I won't open this kind of forums.
Yeah. I'm going to have to leave pretty soon, unfortunately. So.
Oh, okay. So should we go to the other slides? Or?
Keep rolling.
Okay. So second slide on the motivations.
So in fact, I've got people here to see me, so I'm going to have to take off. So anyway, those are my general comments.
Okay.
And I guess people can go through. Yeah, just try to reduce the slides somewhat.
Okay, I will send you a more final version of the slide tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank you very much for your comment. Bye. Okay, so shall we go through the slide one by one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah, next one, the technological motivations.
Okay. I mean, this is a naive question, but it's a naive comment. But combination with new fast deep buffer electronics, is that very interesting to this community?
So okay, that was one of the comments of Matt from yesterday. So yeah, technically it's kind of too technical, I guess, for the community.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can.
Because if you remove it, you have like 3 points, right? Bam, bam, bam. So it's a large area combination, like first use and then ready to be commercialized. So it's kind of a fast sale, right?
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Should I move to the next one?
Yep.
Okay.
Oops. What happened? Oh. Okay.
Can you still see it?
So can I ask, I mean, you present the collaboration before on slide 2, and then this comes back up again.
Oh.
So I thought this made sense during your talk, but just looking at your slide here, I forget what your transition is.
Oh. Yeah, that was basically, yeah, now that I've explained the motivation behind Honey, I present the detector in more details. Yeah, I guess the collaboration kind of arrives like this because it's not detector technically. So, so maybe I could kind of combine this one with the first overview, saying because I mean the flags are not necessary, I guess. So maybe I can just say in the overview that it's a collaboration between 3 countries, and that way this slide just goes away.
I think that might be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of agree. You're saying what is ANY, and then the slide after this one goes into what is ANY, but this slide is kind of not really saying much.
Okay.
It is saying that I mean, they have LIPPDs in hand.
Yeah, but we can just say that. You can just say it.
And you say it later too, right? So you show the first, like Matt holding an LIPPD. So yeah.
Okay. So in this case, yeah, I will combine this one and the first one. They'll make it faster. Okay. So I guess next one in the BNB. I mean, those slides, I like them because those were slides I had for a seminar at some point because I had 50 minutes. But I mean, to save time, I can just go quickly on those. It's not necessary. But
I think clicking through the slides, I like these slides, right?
Yeah,
because they're kind of fast and say, okay, this is an aerial view. This is where we're at. Yeah, and like I always thought the big blue building was ANY, but it's not. So it's cool to say this in the audience. People are gonna laugh.
Yeah, I mean that's I like those, and I can try to go faster on those, but I guess that's Maybe I can have a smoother transition of explaining what the detector in the hole, but yeah, okay.
So did you have a question on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the first bullet point might not be necessary because I just said it like before.
Yeah, so you're saying gadolinium is 0.2% by weight?
Oh yeah, it's 0.2% gadolinium sulfate. So yeah, that's true. I should correct that.
And so the 10,000 charge current interactions per ton per year, I guess that's neutrinos, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this slide is fine. I actually like this slide.
Yeah, it's good to explain how basically the event detection is going to work. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one, maybe I was kind of confused because I changed it basically. So I had a better transition before. I was talking about the super K measurement and saying that we want to do better than super K, so we have to use this. So I think I didn't explain it too well. So I can try to re-explain it to work on how to actually do a transition between the 2 slides and explain this first bullet point.
Yeah. This is good.
Okay.
Okay, so when you went to phase 1, I kind of got the impression that phase 1 was in the near future.
Oh.
And also a little bit later on, when you summarize phase 2, you accidentally call it phase 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't help.
But I mean, that's just something that can happen. But yeah.
Yeah, so just sort of make it obvious in somewhere in these slides that phase 1 is done and it was a success, and these are the results.
Okay. Yeah, I can add that as a bullet point here, basically. Yeah.
Also, actually that would be a good point. Suggesting like this slide being the status, like phase 1 done, phase 2 going, phase 3 proposed, or not even proposed.
Because I had, well, basically, well, okay, the thing is, so I was reading the outline, so saying that since before I had an actual section on phase 1, now it's more like the whole multi-phase. So I went to phase 1, explaining we had 3 phases, and then back to phase 1. So maybe that's not the best way to do it. So I could say, I could have just go with the multi-phase experiment. Yeah, phase 1, success, that's done here. And then explain that this would help us for phase 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so long as you're not getting away from, basically you want the audience to be looking forward to the beginning of phase 2, which is just around the corner.
Yes.
Rather than thinking, oh, okay, we're going to have phase 1, it's going to go for a year or 2. So phase 2 is a couple of years away. You know what I mean?
Yep, I see it. So basically, yeah, really showing people that this is done, this is finished, success, and basically from this slide to this slide, going from, yeah, this is going to happen. I mean, this is so either happening or going to happen in the next few months.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so I guess this one was okay.
Yep.
Yep. That one was nice.
Those are, yeah.
That one was nice. Oh, the only thing I might suggest is instead of saying MRD, you can write MRD here, but say muon range detector, because some people in the audience are going to completely forget what MRD is.
Okay, yep. Okay. Then this one.
That was fine.
Yep.
I guess, I mean, what are you trying to say here?
Yeah, it doesn't have a big physics impact. It was basically to show that, because technically this is, I mean, this is not the detector, but this is most of the detector, because you have to add PMTs on it. But it would be like saying, like showing the big Super K tank, for example. You show people that your detector is ready, it's here. It's not like just something we're going to do soon, but in 3 years it's going to be, oh, what did Annie do? But it's going to be like, we have it there. But I guess, yeah, it's just a structure. So it's not as impressive as if we had PMT on it, but.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with showing components coming together.
No, yeah, I was just thinking there might be a refined message, like we're building the I don't have a comment. So
yeah,
if I think of something, I'll email you.
But no, I agree. I mean, even when I was talking about it, I tried to add some more information than just this is your structure. I tried to add information on this is where we're going to have all our PMTs mounted on to actually show people that, yeah, this is ready. But okay, yeah, I can try to explain it a little better for the structure.
Yeah, you probably don't need the Annie plus LAPPD's designs over time.
Okay.
Do you need that?
No, well, okay, well, at first it was to show people that Annie went from being fully instrumented with LAPPDs to having less and less, but having still LAPPDs, to just to show that basically it's not like Annie started to be a regulated detector, and then at some point jumped on the LAPPD train saying, oh, yeah, we should use those. It's more like ANI and LAPPDs are here since the beginning, and then the design changed, but LAPPDs are still there. It was mostly to show that basically ANI was kind of the, I guess, maybe it's true, but the first client of income and the first client of LAPPD in general.
Yeah, I would just say that.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to keep, I was wondering if bullet points 1 and 2 could be merged together, where you just have a period at the end of ANI has been an early LAPPD adopter since the beginning, period strong ties with income company. It's just a minor suggestion that you might not want to go with it, but that's my suggestion.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can work on that. Yeah, I guess I might not have to actually also cite Alexei Stark. I think I did before.
Okay.
Okay.
I like this slide. It has data points. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and I might get some more. I might get some more results in a backup. I mean, I have some results, but I don't have. It's not the most updated results. So I think Matt is going to send me some of the plots from the recent testing. I would have those in my backup.
Okay, so the physics goals of phase 2 are really the physics goals of the experiment. So should these have been mentioned back when you were motivating the experiment?
Yeah, that's right. I don't mention the cross-section measurement.
You could say that you could remove the physics goals, like the primary physics goals, which you've already mentioned back at the beginning of your talk, and just have some extra points that these are some extra measurements that we do plan to do as well.
Okay, so
bonus physics goals.
So would it make more sense to talk about the physics goal before the detector construction? So you talk about the physics goal, and then you say, look, we're building this thing. This is the LAPPDs. We have a relationship with INCOM, and we're making these physics goals a reality, right? So if you talk about the physics goal before,
well, he did.
Oh, he did.
That's what I'm saying. You could probably remove some of those bullet points.
Okay, apologies.
Okay. So have the goals here at the beginning of the section, basically.
I mean, it's fine to have these here. It's fine to have the extra physics goals, like from bullet point. Yeah, from then on. But I wouldn't rehash the original physics goals that you've already mentioned at the start of the talk.
Or maybe make it more clear, like in addition to the primary physics goal, and then you remind the audience that,
right.
So instead of just primary physics goal, like in addition to the primary physics goal, and then the second bullet point would maybe flow more easily. Not flow more easily, but be less, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, here I have to. I think I copied here. It's not the good date, but yeah.
So I actually like this slide.
Okay.
So What is the top right figure?
Top right. So it's a simulation that Leon made in for TEA. It's a TEA detector filled with water-based sequencing, and it's a CC interaction from the LBNF beam.
Okay. Can you put that on it? That it's from Thea and it's WBLS?
Oh yeah, true. Yes, thank you. Okay, yeah. Okay. I think this I already say the whole mixture of water, and Gabriel is going to talk about it, the talk just before mine, so I don't have to repeat it twice, so I can remove that.
I might actually suggest you leave it in.
Oh.
I mean, maybe not talk about it, but this really puts an emphasis for the people in the audience that, hey, this is a WBLS slide, right?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, just that if people don't remember, they can just read the top of the slide and say, "Oh yeah, that's right."
The plot at the bottom right, is that Thea or Annie?
Oh yeah, so this is so this plot. I think I'm going to change it and have something that's more general, because this is basically the same simulation, and that's where you have the reflection and everything. But this doesn't concern Annie. So I just have it here because Matt told me you had basically this time separation plot. But I think there is a more general one that people use, and I might put this one because this one is specific to TI and specific to this simulation. So I'm going to put a more general one.
Okay.
I mean, the slide is, it's a very minor comment, but it's a little bit busy. So I was wondering if there's a way to split it into two, which I know you probably don't want to do because you want to remove slides.
At the beginning, I had a slide on why do we need more FPPDs and why do we need water-based sequencing theater, and then I had a slide on phase 3. But well, also we wanted to make some space, but also phase 3 side was kind of giving a lot of information we don't know yet. So like, how to deploy the APPD vessel, the BBS vessel and everything. So I removed it. I can probably remove this bullet point, for example, because people might not need to know. I mean, they can realize it or just ask for later.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I think I agree with you.
And I guess this point goes into what Bob was saying with the neutrino separation and the neutron, the position reconstruction of the neutron capture. So I might keep it and explain it a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then that's just the conclusion.
And I thought those were fine. So yeah, so those I guess were my own comments.
Yeah. Is that the last slide or is there one after it?
That's the last one. Then it's backups.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I have all your comments. Thanks again for all of those. I will correct them today. I think the plan is to do another practice tomorrow. I have to check the time, but I think it might be either 11, 12, or 1 Pacific. But I don't know yet. It depends on Meidi's schedule. And
so where is the NNN actually this year? Where is NNN?
It's in Vancouver. So I'm also
okay.
in.
So you are in Vancouver right now?
Yep.
Cool.
It's raining.
I am very jealous. Yeah. I think that was pretty much it. So, I think I need to head out, but good luck on your talk.
Okay. Well,
if tomorrow I can attend, I'll try, but I might not be able to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your comments. Yeah, I will correct them and put the new version on DocDB. So if you want to see the latest version, then it will be on DocDB. Hopefully tomorrow morning, but probably tonight.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
All right. Well,
Thanks, Vincent.
Thanks, Vincent.
Yep. Have a good afternoon. And yep. Thank you again. Bye.
Sure. Bye.
Matt, are you still there? I don't think so, but.